Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and today, for the first time ever, we are playing Marvel Snap, the new early access card battler game based on the Marvel Universe that just came out today on Steam. Now, I've never played this game, I've never even seen anyone play this game before, but we play a lot of card games here like Gwent and Gwent Rogue Mage, and I'm a Marvel fan, so we'll take a first look at this game and hopefully give you a sense of whether this is something you might want to play as well. And it's free to play, so anyone can check it out. So let's jump in. Okay, we're going up against Nick Fury, apparently, or maybe we're Nick Fury going up against Dr. Doom. So again, I've never played before. I have no idea what we're going for here.
Meet the team. Spider-Man, you're in.
Hi, just gotta be home by 9.
All right, so we have Spider-Man, who I guess we put on the board here, and I see he has, what, 2 power? Is that what this is? And our turn. They have Elektra. Okay, she has a higher number. Each player, or each card adds power. Highest power wins. So yeah, they have 7 power. We have 2 power, so presumably they win then.
Send Spider-Man some backup.
Unless we send Spider-Man some backup.
What are you buttercups cackling on about?
Okay, so we have Rogue now. Does it matter where we play her? Maybe in the future, but for now, I'm just gonna put her next to Spider-Man here.
Hi, I'm Spider-Man.
Get some little dialogue between the characters as well. Wasp, okay. Win 2 out of 3 locations. Okay, so is that sort of like a mini objective within the overarching objective of obviously winning the game? So let's see. Will be revealed next turn, will be revealed in 2 turns. So right now it's New York, but in the future it could be something else.
Photo after this?
All right, Star-Lord. Star-Lord has a special ability. Okay. On reveal, if your opponent played a card here this turn, plus 3 power, and by here, does that mean at the same location, like New York City versus the other places that we've not yet learned about? Are we? Oh, we are allowed to start working toward those areas. Yeah, I'm not sure why. It looks like we have 5 points over there, but they have 2 points, even though I see 2 plus 3 obviously equals 5, but 7 plus 7 does not equal 2, so I don't know why their number is lower than our number. It seems like they should be winning that area, but maybe we put Star-Lord here still. And since they played something there, it makes Star-Lord activate his ability.
Toy with doom at your own peril.
Okay. So it's interesting how, okay, there's the new area. It's Nova Roma. Draw a card, tap a location to see what it does. Okay. Does that apply to just us or our opponent as well? I'm not sure why we're benefiting, but our opponent isn't. Most cards have special abilities, okay. I was gonna say, it seems odd how we don't really have a hand, we're just playing whatever we happen to draw into here, and it just seems random, but I imagine maybe this is just because it's a tutorial. So on reveal, if you play a card here next turn, plus 2 power, so basically if we play Hawkeye, we want to commit to that area. Whereas Medusa, on reveal, if this is at the middle location, plus 2 power. Okay, so we would like to put her in the middle. We've kind of already committed a lot to the middle, and in fact, in the middle, we have only 1 spot remaining. I think there are only 4 locations, or 4 spots available per location, from what I can tell. So, still figuring things out, but, so if we do that, we'll want to play you in the middle, and that means we'd want to probably go Medusa here, and then Hawkeye here next turn, and then play whatever else we happen to draw into with Hawkeye, assuming that we still draw into, yeah, we will still have more turns after this. So, okay. Or can we... Oh, we can play multiple cards per turn. Okay, now that's also good to know. Okay, so she activates. Okay, they're focusing on that area that we don't really know about yet.
Still a little light.
So now we want to play something here.
Pilates.
Iron Man's ability. That's to say he has a powerful ability. Ongoing, if your total power is doubled at this location. Okay. So would be great if we had a lot of stuff. What is this? Okay. You have plus 2 power to cards in players' hands. We don't have a lot in our hand. We have nothing in our hand at the moment. So, like, do you only get the ability here if you have the most power in that location or something? I don't know, that seems like that would give additional reason to focus on a specific location, but perhaps not. Okay, I mean, that quite literally does nothing for us, so... Like, did we have...
Would you look at that?
Oh, okay, except it turned Iron Man from a 0 into a 2. That's not the way that that works, mathematically, but maybe we just, don't ask too many questions, you know?
I am Iron Man.
Okay, Abomination.
Let's move.
Does he have an ability?
Worth wait.
Okay, Hulk looks huge at 12 power, so that's pretty cool. It doesn't seem like you have any ability. Just seems odd at this in particular. Like, why does... Oh, no, you're... So I'm not wearing glasses or my contacts right now. I totally thought those were 7s, not 1s. So that explains how these numbers are adding up here. For a second, I was like, why is the basic math not adding up there? But okay, if we put Hulk here, then we should be able to have a pretty huge amount of power in this location. But then it means they might win this one. Like, do we have to win all the locations? Do we only need to win 2 out of 3? Is that fine? America Chavez. Okay, we still win there. We win here. They win there. Okay, but... So is that the reason we won? By winning 2 out of 3 locations?
I'll try to break a sweat.
Yeah, hold 2 out of 3 locations. Okay, so if we just ignore one of the 3 and focus entirely on the other 2, then that seems like that's presumably the way to go. All right, so nice win. Play games to visually upgrade your cards. So the game, as I was saying before, is free to play, but there are some microtransactions. I read some brief reviews about it. It sounded like people were saying in general, the game is pretty generous when it comes to what you can do without having to pay anything. So maybe we can learn a little bit more about that. Medusa. Visually upgrade, okay. I'm not sure we have a choice in the matter, so sure.
Frame break.
I'm not really sure what that did, but I guess another free upgrade because they're so dang generous. It looked like that number changed, but I don't know what that number means. 3D? Okay. Quality increase to rare? Sure, I guess. Why not? Upgrading cards unlocks new cards. Oh, okay, that's good news, I suppose. We gain the Punisher. Ongoing +1 power for each opposing card at this location. So you want to play him where there are a lot of opposing units. All right, we'll add him to the deck. And I assume that was not just a total placeholder deck. That is actually our starting deck that we got in that previous match.
Dig up this time.
All right, so I assume this is more of a tutorial match here. Okay, we start with 1 energy. Okay, this is new. We've not seen this before. That might explain what the blue was before. Costs 3 energy. We can't play it. Okay, this makes more sense. Not only do we actually have multiple cards in our hand, we have some reason why we'd want to play some things over others. So that means we can play Quicksilver, because he only costs 1 energy, and he starts in our opening hand. So although he's weak at just 2 power, that makes sense. He's a reliable way to immediately get some points on the board. Alternatively, you don't do anything special. So let's see. Then what do we have here? +1. Our cards here have +1 power. We don't know anything about these locations. Okay. I mean, I guess we just throw you down here. And then that's all the energy we have. They focus on that spot. It's also Quicksilver for them.
10,000 years and winning never gets old.
Okay. +1 energy per turn. Okay, so it's kind of like... I haven't played this game in probably almost a decade, but it reminds me of what I remember of Hearthstone, where you get sort of mana that increases every turn, rather than Gwent, the game that I play most often for card games that does not have an energy or mana system, just has all of your cards in your starting hand. You can play them in whatever order you'd like. So we drew into this Medusa.
Did I cast a lethargy spell? Honestly, might can't recall.
Okay, so we want to put her in the middle. On turn 6, cards can't be played here. Oh, okay, so we need to rush to that middle location in that case. So I think we should definitely play Medusa here for the time being. And she's the only one we can afford to play on this turn anyway. So she'll get stronger. Okay, they are focusing on that one. For what it's worth, if they want to just go total overkill, then maybe that's fine. I see what you did there. All right, what does this do? Add a random card to each player's hand. Okay, the one that we got, Mr. Fantastic. Adjacent locations have +2 power. Okay, so we want to put him in the middle as well. And then Hulk is a huge finisher. That makes sense, given how he's 12 power. He costs 6 energy, so that makes sense. We're not going to be able to play him for quite some time. So I think what we'll do is we'll probably go put you in the middle, and then we'll want to eventually put the Punisher over in this spot here where they have a bunch of cards. So do this. Even though we don't have any units over there, it's still getting stronger, which is pretty cool. Okay.
Careful. Just have the suit cleaned.
And Iron Man increases the power of, I assume it's still the same ability, increases the power of everyone else at that location, so we'd like to put him in an area that's pretty crowded. So we can afford Punisher, and we might want to put him here, just given how many cards they have. That could be potentially a way for us to still outscore them, even with fewer units. Like, they have 3, so that's going to be +3 on him for a total of 6. And then we have the 2 extra from Mr. Fantastic, so yeah, that looks pretty good. And that means we still have 1 extra energy to hold on to here. Now, if we don't spend all of our energy on one turn, do we get an extra point of energy on our next turn? Can we save up in that way? Or is it, if you don't use it, you lose it? Because that dictates whether or not we'd want to play Misty in this location. Maybe we at least test that. I know previously, yeah, it said we still had cards to play, so maybe we do in fact lose the energy in between rounds. So, all right, in that case, let's try to be more competitive in this area. I mean, we are going to run out of time here, though, pretty soon. Yeah, let's make sure, though, given how you're going to get stronger with the Punisher, but this is the most competitive spot right now, and this is still a place where, even if we play something on our next turn, we should be okay. Okay, thing's pretty big. But we still have more... Oh, no, we do not have more points than them at the moment.
I annihilate you. Then tea.
Okay, so there's only one more turn to play stuff here, which means we should probably rush to get something there, and Iron Man is tempting. It would double us from 6 to 12, although I'm not sure that's sufficient, really. I think we might need to go Abomination, and is this 9 power? Wow, that is a lot. Okay, I mean, it'd be kind of nice to combine that with Iron Man, but if we put you in the middle, that's not going to happen. I think we still take our chances there, though. We do already have a lead. This might end up being overkill, but to confirm, we get this location, and yeah, we overcommitted in this location. So that is interesting to see. There are some mind games there. Okay, and so now
Staring contest. Open invite.
we've confirmed that we've won the middle. Again, we kind of overcommitted that to a certain extent, but we're still getting some carryover value of sorts with Mr. Fantastic giving us extra power in these spots. We can't... Oh, this is our final turn. Oh, and this is interesting. So we can only play 1 of these cards, right? We only are going to have enough energy for one of them? Yeah. So Hulk is our huge finisher. Actually, though, we won. We can pretty much guarantee that we won. Because we won this location. We could try to outscore them here. Yes, they have a 1-point lead, but we have plenty of space here. Cards here +1 power. We could use Iron Man to double this, but that's not worth very much. We could just do our big Hulk smash here. The thing is, though, they've already filled this spot, which means they can't play anything more here, I don't think. So if we play Hulk in this location, we guarantee that we win this spot and win this spot. Now, there's a chance they have other things like Mr. Fantastic that give them additional points in other locations indirectly, but unless they can do that, I'm pretty sure this confirms that we win. So we'll let them do whatever they want to do here. As long as they don't get extra points elsewhere, then we should be fine. All right. That was cool. Starting to see a lot more how the strategy starts to tie into things. So we can visually upgrade another card. Now I can see how, you know, obviously we're slowing down a lot trying to figure out how the game works, but I could see how this could be a pretty fast-paced game once you have a better sense as to how everything fits together. Okay, only upgrade Hulk once, unfortunately. But it does seem like he is one of our stronger cards. Oh, and we can add Sentinel. Okay, on reveal, add another Sentinel to your hand. Okay, so 3 power for 2 energies. Okay, let's get another one in our hands. Another relatively low power, or relatively low energy card in our hand could be useful if we find ourselves kind of similar to the situation we found ourselves at the end of the previous game, where we just don't quite have enough energy to play everything that we want to play, and we need something cheap to just finish up with our last point or 2 of energy. Okay, so let's see. Sentinel's waiting in our collection. So we can edit our deck here. Is there... Let's see. Pop open our deck. There are limitations to how we can build our deck. Your new card is great. Okay, well, thank you. But, replace Shocker. Okay, so you're basically just telling us what our worst card is and telling us that there's a better card to replace it with. All right, but I assume going forward, that's not going to be something you're going to spoon feed us. We're going to have to figure this stuff out for ourselves. So remove that from our deck. Add this Sentinel instead. Incredible. Go dominate. All right, if you say so. So this is probably PvP, I imagine. All right, I'm curious what these other things with notifications on them are, but it seems as though the game really wants us to go here. So new challenger awaits. Let's see. Is this going to be an actual person or is this another computer? What should we call you? Lids. All right, so yeah, this does, I'm pretty sure, mean that we are going up against an actual person now. We, of course, have a starting deck, pretty much, so I think it's gonna come down a lot to just outplaying them, not so much our cards, because we don't really have anything all that special. Let's see, after 5 turns, put a card from each player's hand here. Okay, well, I suppose we're putting, I mean, you guys are functionally the same. Just put you here. I'll put something there as well. And not so surprisingly, it's Quicksilver for both of us. Okay, now cards here can't be destroyed. Okay, we haven't seen any cards that can destroy stuff yet. Or at least none that have done that yet. So not sure how common that really is. Opponent played a card here this turn, +3 power. I mean, that could potentially be worth trying out. Sentinel is one where we create another copy in our hand. I'm not sure that's all that necessary right now. I think it's mostly a matter of Star-Lord and trying to guess which spot we anticipate they're going to play things in. If we try Star-Lord in the middle row here, I'm assuming they're going to be intrigued by this as well. But some mind games. No! We guessed wrong. We guessed wrong. Darn. Okay, that was well done from them. All right, and now this does not do anything? Question mark? Does not do anything. Okay, Iron Man can double the power of cards in an area. Now, we have an advantage here. They put a bunch of stuff here, but they weren't very high-powered units, so it's actually not worth that much. What does Cyclops do? Nothing. He just has a decent bit of power. So, yeah, Iron Man really only pays off if we can get other powerful things in there. I think we go Cyclops here in the middle row, and then maybe next turn we can go double Sentinel, because that'll be just enough for 4. And then Iron Man could maybe fill in the last spot here, perhaps. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, Punisher gets powered up based on how many cards we have in this area. I remember that because we played him last time. So we want to be a little bit careful about that. Well, now we have a Punisher. Ooh. Punisher here, and then later Iron Man could be really tempting. I was thinking we'd go double Sentinel on this turn, but perhaps not. So if we do this, and then we could fit in Misty Knight, and then that does give us one more spot for Iron Man. So maybe we still do this. This spot right now is completely uncontested, so that is tempting. So we want to be careful not to overcommit too much to an area, because if you put a whole bunch of points somewhere and lose that spot, then that's bad news. Okay, is this not instantaneous? It might not be. It might take a turn before it adds the cards in your hand. Okay, Thing is very powerful. But I was thinking, so we do have a lead here at the moment. So the question is, do we need to invest further in this area, or should we instead focus our efforts elsewhere? Like, this is largely uncontested in the ruins. They did put 2-point Star-Lord. They missed on that ability there. So at 5, it's either Thing for 6 points directly and having 1 energy left over, which is a little bit unfortunate, or Iron Man, which can double our 9 to an 18. I think that just about confirms we can win this spot. But then it's a matter of, can we, on our last turn, seal the deal in one of these spots? That could be tricky. It's kind of awkward here. I would love to get the chance to go Sentinel plus Thing, but that's too much. So then otherwise we're just not going to have time for Sentinel to really use his ability here. So I think it might still be Iron Man here, and make sure that we win this spot, but then last turn it's going to be tricky to kind of hedge our bets here. Which spot do we think we can actually get the win in? Okay, there's Sentinel. I think even with that, we're still going to have a very large lead in this location. More than we really needed. But let's see, we draw into Medusa, and for what it's worth, at 2 energy, it is basically the perfect number for us. I mean, as would be Sentinel. Sentinel's actually a little more efficient. So now, yeah, again, the big question is just where do we try to win this? Because they have the lead in both of these locations, 2 points here, 1 point here. But is there reason to think that they're more likely to play something elsewhere? It's basically just a pure guessing game, right? I mean, for what it's worth, if we go Sentinel here, it's just enough for us to take the lead. Actually, we could go Sentinel here, and that's just enough for us to take the lead. And then we go Thing here, that's also just enough for us to take the lead. So that means they'd have to play 2 cards. They'd have to play 1 in each spot. Otherwise, we'd take one of them, and we'd win this spot and win one of these 2. So I think that's what we go for. So you are just barely enough. That's all we're trying to do, is just take a small lead in any of these locations. Because in doing so, that means that they would have to put up points in both these spots on the same turn, which they might not be able to do. So I don't know. We'll see. They only put something there, though. I think we've got this. I think we've got this. Extra Sentinel won't really matter, but we'll let them win the middle spot, but we'll take the right and the left to get the victory. Very cool. All right, let's see. So I'm not entirely sure what this means happens to our Abomination, or are we just upgrading the visualness of it? Upgrade this card to uncommon and gain 1 collection level? I have no idea what these things mean, but okay, I'll take your word for it. Apparently we want to do that. Frame break means something. Is it we get this flavor text is the first upgrade, and then the next upgrade is we get the 3D-ness? Is that how it works? Did any of these numbers change? I didn't think they did, but maybe I missed it. I don't think he became stronger, per se. Let's see, we claim our reward, so we, I think, leveled up collection level. Is this just from having won the match, or is this from having collected new cards? I'm not entirely sure, but looks like we're getting Jessica Jones. 4 energy, 4 power. On reveal, if you don't play a card here next turn, plus 4 power, so she's a lone soldier of sorts. I mean, at 8 power for 4 energy, that is potentially very good, I would think. So that sounds good. Keep upgrading cards to unlock new cards. Okay, so that's the way that you unlock more stuff, is by upgrading cards rather than just directly targeting new cards that you don't yet have. Okay, and what does this do? Oh, it just shows us what the next tier is. Okay. All right, let's take a quick look at some of these other things here. This might be some of the stuff that we were taking a brief look at before. But our shop, so this is obviously where you can start to buy stuff, and in this case, it looks like, you know, is it the Captain America card itself, or is it upgrading your Captain America? It's probably Captain America himself. And then daily offers for cosmetics, okay. Using resources that I don't know to what extent we may or may not have, but I imagine you can probably purchase those things as well. So, you know, it seems like there are some things that obviously you can use to purchase with real world dollars to make your decks more effective, but hopefully most of it is just a matter of, you know, cosmetics. If you like the looks of things, then you can support the game a little bit and pay a little bit more to do that without inherently making the game pay to win. But let's see what the other things are here as well. Season Pass, I think this is also something that you might purchase, and perhaps gives you access to other cards. Again, not totally sure how all these different features work just yet. But that seems to be the basic sense as to what Marvel Snap is all about. We went through the tutorial, and we did one match against what I believe was an actual real-world person. As for what I think about the game, I like how it's pretty quick and has interesting aspects of strategy to it where the combinations are not so crazy, but there's definitely some mind games that you need to play with your opponent and figuring out how best to allocate your cards between the 3 different locations. And as we saw in that previous match, sometimes you might invest a ton in one location, but other times you can win in a location with just 1 card. So again, this is Marvel Snap. It just came out on Steam today. It is in early access still, and we just took a look at how it is free to play, but there are some aspects that cost money, but it seems as though they are purely optional. So let me know in the comments if you've played Marvel Snap before. What do you think of the game? I think it has already existed on some other platforms already, so there's a chance some of you guys are much more familiar with it and experienced with it than I am. And if so, what are your favorite parts of the game? And let me know if this is something you'd like to see us play more of in the future, or stick around for other card games like Gwent. Thank you all for stopping by, and I'll catch you next time.